40-year-old woman has died in a crash before her wedding day next month. The crash happening yesterday on the US 60 near Queen Valley. Troopers say that an SUV turned into the path of a pickup truck before crashing into each other. The passenger of the truck died, and she has now been identified as Talora Frost of Snowflake. Both drivers were seriously injured. One of them was Frost's fiance. Her family tells 12 News that Frost was looking forward to getting married to the man she had waited so long for.
This is the story of Sorel Manuela, a mother of three, who passed away on her wedding day, a day that was supposed to be the best day of her life, but it turned into the worst day of her life. Sorel can be seen celebrating with her lovely husband when she suddenly slumped and never woke up again. What could have caused this tragic incident to happen? Could it be something very deep than what we see in the video, or could it be a case of her just being very unlucky? Hello and welcome to Twisted Crime.
ከዛ ዘሎ ከነካቱ ምንም ሳይቀር አይታችኋል። ምንም ሳይቀር ሴቱም ወንዱም ሳይቀር አካላቸው አቶ ግማሹ ከነካል ያለው ራሱ የለም። ሬሳም ሆኖ ከነካ አካሉ ቢኖር መልካም ነበር። ይህንንም ሁሉ ሴቱም ወንዱም አልቆ በወቅቱ እዚህ ነበረን አጠራቅመን ነው መኪና ላይ እንትን ያደረግነው የጫን
The Lord is known by the judgments which he executes. I'm going to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashum, Yahushai, Bashum, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the Rufus Elect Tabernacle of David scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. Now, those three clips that I recorded, it seems to be a spiritual theme, especially with the amount of judgment going forth. That Most High, he's not pulling back. It's the time to, be circumspect, but also to, examine yourself and hoping that, the Lord, has mercy on you. Because the Lord, he just, he increases, his judgment. And, people definitely don't know their time, which is why you should not, especially in this time, you shouldn't be proud. And you should definitely consider that, things are going to continue to turn up. And a lot of these people in this world, that's something that they can't seem to understand, which, we know going back in time, when the Lord brought major judgment on the world, people was in that spirit of, partying, mirth, marriage, giving in marriage, eating and drinking. And then they didn't see it coming, but the Lord brought major disaster, So, the overall spiritual theme in them judgments is don't get distracted with the cares of this life. These people get wrapped up in, pleasure and certain aspirations, certain success stories. They get into all these different things and don't even see judgment coming. Them brides, they just knew they was going to tie that knot and hit the jackpot, and life was going to go on and everything was going to be happily ever after. But the Most High had a different plan for them, and that was judgment. So this is why the scriptures say, not to boast of tomorrow. All right, we're not to be proud, in our walk. This is Proverbs 27:1. It says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. And then, the one woman in Cameroon, she's literally on the dance floor, dancing, and she seemed happy. And then out of nowhere, she just collapsed on the floor in the midst of her own wedding. The woman prior to that, the Edomite, they were on their way, and then one wrong move and it was over with. And then that last story, it was literally a wedding party on a bus, and went right off of a damn cliff, and they all plunged to their death. So you never know what the next day may bring. That's why the scriptures say what it say. All right, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. And our life is as a vapor, as it is written. Let's go to James real quick, which I'm sure James was quoting from this proverb. This is James 4:13, and it says, go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. We're going to go and take care of business. I'm going to go and, with the aim of making this amount of money, or I'm going to go and set up this particular event, whatever the case may be. All right. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. So as long as we're in these decrepit, weak bodies, these chains of darkness, you never know when your time can come. It could just happen, man. All right. That's why, and it's going to get ready to tell you, for we ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. And I'm sure none of them people in each of those stories even had a thought of, the Lord, Lord willing, we get to do this or do that. Lord willing, we'll, make it to this wedding if it be the Lord's will, taking the humble approach. But, man on earth right now, they're super proud. It was that scripture in the Apocrypha, why is earth and ashes proud? They're prouder than ever, man. And going back to the time of Noah, they were super proud. And they had no idea what was getting ready to happen, even though they were being warned, for years of what was getting ready to come. All right. Noah, he did what he was supposed to do, and the Lord spared him. Him and his family got to live with the rest of the people. That was in the same boastful energy. Being carried on, whatever it is in life that they was, a part of. All right. It says, but now ye rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. And that's why it says in Proverbs 18:12, before destruction, the heart of man is haughty. And you better believe, especially right before a wedding, that's like the happiest day of their life. So they feeling, that dopamine, they feeling, that energy, like this is going to be the biggest thing of my life. And, very boastful, happy, especially the bride is usually the woman. Because the man, he pretty much got to sacrifice his life after that, deal, right? After that feast. But the woman, she just know, because that day is really not about the marriage, it's about her. A lot of them is like that. So all them women that were real proudful and they got what they got. Fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and keep his commandments. That's the whole duty of man. All right? Because you never know. All right, the scriptures say, unto the Lord belong the issues from death. And he could have, spared them. He could have rescued them from death. But instead, he delivered them to it. That shows you what type of power we're dealing with. All right, that's why he's to be feared. So let me get this in Ecclesiastes 9 and 12, and I'm gonna get it in the AMP Amplified Bible. And it says, for a man or a woman also does not know his time of death, like fish caught in a treacherous net and birds caught in the snare. So the sons of men are ensnared in an evil time when a dark cloud suddenly falls on them. And there's starting to be a lot of dark clouds all over the place because there's so much judgment back to back to back. All these type of incidences, and they're not accidents, by the way. None of them are accidents. The Lord, he directs the steps of men. Man's goings of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? So none of these judgments that are occurring none of them are accidents. All right. You had a ferry boat that capsized and killed a bunch of people. You got all these different plane crashes happening, with record numbers of people, that were on board that's no longer alive. They got to run death tolls and find missing bodies. There's been like 6 different plane crashes as of late. So clearly, there's dark clouds of judgment. All right, that's coming on the earth. So you better believe it's going to increase going into the year 2025. More judgment. So it's better to be in a serious mindset in this day and age. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 7 real quick. Ecclesiastes 7 and 2, it says, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. So when you in a house of feasting, in a house of mirth, you're not really thinking of, anything coming your way. You're not thinking of any adversity. Like it says in, was that Sirach 11 in verse 25, if I'm not mistaken. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there's a forgetfulness of prosperity. The Lord can, matter of fact, let me just go to it. He could bring all that pleasure you feel in to a cease in just an hour, real quick. You can be feeling like you're having the best time of your life, and then the Lord can just cut your life short right then and there. Sirach 11. Yeah, Sirach 11 and verse 26. And it says, for it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deed shall be discovered. So just it could take one moment, and you can go from being proud to staring death in his face. You feeling the pleasure, the dopamine of pleasure. All right. And you feeling real proud and boastful. And then out of nowhere, tragedy strikes. All right. So that's why we got to humble ourselves, before the Lord. Because at the end of the day, we're earth and ashes. And, you never know. All right. The Most High, he said he kills and he makes alive. He wounds and he heals. And neither can anybody escape out of his hand. So if the Lord got your number, he got your number. And this is, the Lord got all types of things happening, man. You got the spirits of vengeance just constantly activating. There's active spirits of vengeance just out there, death angels. Parents killing their children, children killing their parents. The love of many waxing cold. Hey, man. So, we can't get caught up in the affairs of this life, man. And we got to, stay in the right frame of mind, being vigilant. The scriptures say to seek out your salvation with fear and with trembling. All right. Ecclesiastes 7:4 says, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth, because they don't understand judgment. So it catches them off guard. But the heart of the wise, they're in the house of mourning. The prophets, they have vision. They know what time that they're in. So they're not going to be in that type of spirit. So, yeah, the Most High, he's not playing around with these people out here. All right, Jake and heathen alike. He's not discriminating. Judgment never discriminates. The Most High he's a just power. All right, and there's no respect of persons with him. Okay. So, yeah, it's real in the field, and like I said, the spiritual theme in this is, these people thinking that they're in a good place and they're, dealing in their pleasure, but they're not going to see, the destruction, when it hits them. It's going to hit them, catch them off guard. Let's go to Matthew 24, and we'll start at the 36th verse. And it reads, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father. Matter of fact, let me amplify it. Let's get it in the AMP. It says, but of the exact day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son in his humanity, but the Father alone. For the coming of the Son of Man, the Messiah, will be just like the days of Noah. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage. So they were having a marriage feast, banquets or whatnot. They was doing it all until the very day when Noah entered the ark. And they did not know or understand until the flood came and swept them all away. So will the coming of the Son of Man be, unexpected judgment. And that's why we got to, stay focused, keep your eyes single, and don't be distracted. With the matter of fact, let's go to that now. Let's go to Luke 21 and 34. And it says, but be on guard so that your hearts are not weighed down and depressed with the giddiness of debauchery and the nausea of self-indulgence and worldly worries of life. And then that day, when the Messiah returns, will not come on you suddenly like a trap. For it will come upon all those who live on the face of all the earth. But keep alert at all times. Be attentive and ready, praying that you may have the strength and ability to be found worthy and to escape all these things that are going to take place and to stand in the presence of the Son of Man at his coming. And we know the things that are taking place. Wars, earthquakes in diverse places, pestilences, virulent diseases, which we're seeing happening now. Who knows what's coming through that fog that they're letting down over Babylon and over in Europe. All of a sudden, people are coming down with mysterious illnesses, with all this, fog in the air, and you don't even know what's being dropped through that fog. It could be some airborne shit going on, for all we know. A lot of people are all of a sudden getting sick. Nausea, headaches, dizziness, fatigue. Skin irritation. They're complaining that they're suffering all these things from this damn fog, and there's no explanation behind it. So we're in the beginning of sorrows, man. Many evils is going to plague this place. So that that this is part of the Lord taking away that mirth. All right. So the Lord's he's not gonna hold back anymore. Okay. So hopefully this is edifying, and I'm gonna give all the praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Fear him, man. That's all I can really say. And with that, Shalom.